Amanda, what should we be looking out for at the Capcom Cup?
Oh man. Well, I guess we should start with the last chance qualifier because it's the first part of the tournament, and it's gonna be rough for some people. You know, everybody wants that last spot. All those people who couldn't get the points done. I wanted to say that I believed in my man Commander Jesse, but he's in the Dawson pool of death, where all of the Dawson mains somehow ended up in the same pool. So I think I'm gonna. I also was gonna say anti, but then I saw that if he makes it out of his pool, he has to first he has to get past Gamer B, which I don't think is happening, and then past his pool is just harder and harder. I think he has to face Moke. That's not happening. So I think I'm gonna give it to Neon.
Oh.
Really good Corleone player. If you guys remember from Red Bull Conquest, he really tore it up at that event. And I think Corleone is definitely one of the top tier characters right now. And so I think he could have a pretty good chance of running a train on the event.
Is that a controversial pick, or would you say people probably agree with you on that?
I mean, it's the last chance qualifier is the worst tournament to predict. I mean,
anything can happen.
Last year, if you had asked me going into it if I thought Nemo was going to win, objectively speaking, I would have thought it would have been rough for him, but then he ran this entire train on everybody at the last chance qualifier last year and finished third at the Capcom Cup. So I really don't like predicting last chance qualifiers because a fire gets lit under some people's behinds that you never expect.
Well, that's pretty interesting, actually. I mean, I'm actually looking at the Twitch chat right now. We're already getting questions for you. They're popping up already, Amanda. Very popular, but it's coming from Brooklyn AIA, a constant viewer here.
Thank you, Brooklyn AIA. We love you.
Yeah, who do you have as a sleeper top 8 pick?
Oh, sleeper.
Yeah.
Man,
this is for Capcom Cup at large.
Yeah. So I got my handy dandy standings.
Yeah. I mean, because
we're
really
gonna go. Yeah. Oh man, the stats are in front of me right now. Yo, sleeper pick. Itabashi Zangief. I want to see me and Abigail in the top 8. I feel for this man. I mean, I would say Storm Kubo, but I talk to Itazan more. I really want to see Itazan top 8. He's one of those guys that grinds. Everybody knows his name. And it'd be great to get some vengeance after the Nemo handshake last year. Another pick, but I don't know if it's a sleeper anymore after people have seen him more, is Angry Bird. These guys out of the United Arab Emirates are pretty gnarly as far as their skill goes. And I think a lot of people have been sleeping them for a while, but they've really been tearing it up this year. So I don't know if they're sleepers anymore.
Yeah, I mean, even Itazan, he got 5th last year, so I don't know if you can call him a sleeper either, right?
Yeah, but that was with Zangief, right? He's now an Abigail player. Nobody roots for Abigail. Nobody wants to root. It's like rooting for King Cool. Nobody wants that.
I got you.
Nobody wants to root for King K. Rool.
I got you. No, that's definitely true.
Did you like him better when he was playing Zangief for sure?
I mean, I'll tell you this. I remember when I talked to James Chen at Red Bull Battlegrounds last year about commentating Abigail for Cool Kid. And he was like, it's not really commentating as much as it's just yelling and screaming. I love watching Abigail. I love when he hit confirms somebody and does 75% of their health with a combo and then critical arts them for the rest of it. Watching a baby toss happen as a command throw is great. Zangief is cool, multiple SPDs is great, but it's way more free to play Abigail.
Yeah, I statistically, objectively, it's more free to play Abigail, and he's trying to win, right? Okay, but let's pivot for a second and talk about the venue itself, right? Esports Arena. Downgrade or upgrade from last year? What are your thoughts? I know you were saying you got some friends working there, so
So it's a little complicated to compare the two venues, right? For the past 2 years, past 3 years, since the Sony partnership with the Capcom Pro Tour, the Capcom Cup was held at the PlayStation Experience at the Anaheim Convention Center, and that venue was nuts and nice and really good. That said, as a spectator venue, the Esports Arena is not great. I went there for Wednesday night fights at EVO, and while I thought it was really cool of a venue, when I started hearing All Stars was gonna be there for League of Legends, and now the Capcom Cup, spectator space isn't like a huge commodity there. So I
Yeah.
think the fans that want to travel out, see their players duke it out, I think they lose out a bit on this venue. The venue is nice. I just think it cuts out on the fan experience.
Well, what do you think makes a good spectator venue, actually, for those who might not be familiar?
Ooh, I mean, you don't need something as like crazy as like the Mandalay Bay, right? Like even the venue that Red Bull Conquest was at was pretty hyped for the finals. Like that DC events venue, I think it's like the DC Sports and Entertainment. That place was really dope. It's got a lot of really good space for like on the floor seating, so you can get that super hypeness of like being there. You got to have good stand seating too, so that the people who don't want to pay for floor can still have a good time. And especially with esports, you know, sometimes it's not about how well you can see the stage, but like how many monitors set up can you have. And one of the things that I really like about the Mandalay Bay setup and even that DC venue is like a very good balance of making a very clear stage experience where like no matter where you're sitting in the venue, the stage looks hype. Because fighting games is like wrestling.
Yeah, no, and Red Bull's been experimenting with a lot of different formats. We even saw the cage pop up somewhere in Germany, I think.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Kumite for Paris is set up in an MMA octagon. It's pretty sick.
That was nice.
That was insane. Like, I love that they're experimenting with so many different formats, and it's been working. Everyone's been so hyped to go to Red Bull events.
Yeah.
It's been a good time. But let's talk about
nap time? Is it time for nap time?
not nap time.
Not yet.
Not yet,
Not yet.
almost.
Winner, right. Tokido, right? He's kind of rumored to be the
Capcom
favorite
curse.
going in. Right, the Capcom curse, Japanese curse. Tell me more about this. What are your thoughts on the whole situation?
All right, so for those of you who don't know, there's the Capcom curse, which is that you can't win EVO and the Capcom Cup. Doesn't happen. So Takedo won EVO. So no, he didn't. Wait, it's Problem X's turn. So maybe Takedo actually gets the run back. I mean, so even though Capcom curse, I want to root for Problem X. The dude popped up on the scene last year, and everybody was like, "Oh man, you know, it's just because nobody knows how to play against Bison." And I think that's somewhat still true.
Yeah.
Because now it's nobody knows how to play against his level of Bison. It's very similar to it's really interesting that you guys bring up Takedo, because I think Problem X and Takedo are very similar. You don't see a lot of high-tier Akuma players, right? Like you watch tournaments, you don't see that many people rocking the Akuma. But then you see Takedo's Akuma, and you're like, man, how is this character not S-tier? It's the same thing with Problem X. You like don't see a lot of Bisons, and then when you see his Bison, you're like, wait, why isn't everybody spamming Bison?
Right.
So, I mean, I'll be happy with either of them, which is like the biggest cop-out answer. But as a fan of writing for a UK outlet like Jinx, I gotta go with Problem X. Like the dude is chill.
And really quick, you know, we got to talk about nap time, 10 a.m., the controversy. What are your thoughts on the whole situation? And break it down for anyone who might not know what we're talking about.
Early?
So basically what happened was Justin Wong and Chris T started memeing with each other on Twitter about how they weren't a big fan of the fact that they had 10 a.m. pools, which means that they have to get up at like 7:30 and to be at like 8 a.m. check-in or whatever, and how difficult this was. And, oh man, you know, what if we just like push the tournament back to noon? And, you know, I guess it's really hard to play video games for a living. I don't know. But like, in all seriousness, like you only have to do this for one day, and to complain about getting up one day, right? Like you reset your sleep schedule. Like this is my biggest problem with the FGC is they pretend that they're not professional gamers, and so when they forget that this is their job, they get mad lazy about things.
Yeah.
And this is one of those things where I really can't get behind it. Like,
Listen,
you have a whole week to set your sleep schedule.
The motto
Go
of
and win your
Street
money
Fighter
in the
Season
week.
5 is Rise Up. It's on your shirt right there.
Yeah.
Rise up
Amanda.
at 10 a.m.
Amanda, we gotta
It's
go.
not that hard.
Amanda, we
It's
gotta
not
go.
that
We'll talk to
hard.
you again soon. Thanks so much for joining us. Thanks, Amanda.
No problem.